Before Stranger Things ever introduced the world to secret laboratories, government silence, and children caught in something they didn't understand, the story had a different name. Montauk. Not a fictional town, a real place. And at the center of that place sits an abandoned military base that once guarded New York City, while deliberately hiding in plain sight. The creators of Stranger Things have openly acknowledged pulling inspiration from the folklore surrounding this location. Not because monsters lived here, but because secrecy, fear, and unanswered questions already did. This place still exists. It's called Camp Hero, and tonight, we're not here to chase myths. We're here to walk the ground, study the buildings, and understand how real history can feel just as unsettling as fiction. I'm Chris Hubble, founder of History Loves Company. I'm a realtor, but more than that, I spend my time walking old streets, standing in front of forgotten buildings, and asking a simple question. Why was this place built? And why does it still feel the way it does? This is Streets of History. On this series, we don't rush. We don't sensationalize. We let places tell their own story. Camp Hero is one of those places where documented history slowly gave way to folklore. Not because something supernatural happened here, but because silence has a way of inviting imagination. Tonight, we're going to be very clear. We're going to talk about what's fact, what's folklore, and why both exist here. Every historic site begins with urgency. For Camp Hero, that moment came in 1942. The United States had just entered World War II, and the Atlantic Ocean suddenly felt smaller. German U-boats were operating off the American coastline, sinking ships close enough to shore that people could see it happen. New York City was the concern, the largest port, the financial heart of the country, and Long Island Sound was the doorway. Montauk Point sat directly at that entrance. If something hostile was coming, this is where you'd want to see it first. Construction of Camp Hero began in 1942 under the U.S. Army Coast Artillery Corps. But unlike most military installations, this one came with an unusual directive. From the air, it must not look like a base. Walk the grounds today, and you feel it immediately. Roads curve for no obvious reason. Buildings sit at odd angles. There's no clean symmetry. That wasn't poor planning, it was camouflage. Architecture designed to confuse aerial reconnaissance. Barracks were built to resemble New England seaside cottages. Roof lines matched nearby civilian homes. Exterior materials blended into the coastal environment. Even the most important buildings, the fire control stations that calculated artillery trajectories, were disguised as beach houses, with observation slits hidden just beneath the roofline. From above, Camp Hero didn't look dangerous. It looked ordinary. One of the most striking structures here is the base gymnasium. It was deliberately designed to look like a church, complete with a full steeple. From the sky, it suggested normal life. From the inside, it was strictly military. Camp Hero didn't hide weapons. It hid intention. Beneath the disguised surface were 3 massive gun batteries. 2 of them housed 16-inch coastal artillery guns, among the largest weapons ever installed on American soil. Each shell weighed over a ton. Each gun could fire more than 25 miles out to sea. These weren't symbolic defenses. They were designed to stop an invasion. The guns were housed inside reinforced concrete casements, buried, camouflaged, built to survive direct hits. Underground plotting rooms used mechanical calculators to track enemy movement in real time. No computers, no automation, just people, math, and pressure. During World War II, Camp Hero was staffed by U.S. Army Coast artillery units. After the war, the base evolved. The coastal guns became obsolete. A new threat emerged: Soviet bombers. The site became Montauk Air Force Station, part of America's early warning radar network. The people stationed here weren't experiments. They were radar technicians, operators, maintenance crews. No children lived here. No civilians were housed here. This was a working military installation. The most visible structure today is the AN/FPS-35 radar tower, one of the most powerful long-range radar systems ever built. Its job was simple: detect Soviet bombers before they reached North American airspace. It still stands today, largely because removing it was deemed too expensive. Even now, it feels permanent, like something that never quite shut down. Montauk Air Force Station shut down in 1981. No ceremony, no detailed public explanation. Much of the land became Camp Hero State Park, but not all of it. Some buildings were sealed. Underground areas remained federally restricted, and silence moved in. This is where history ends and stories begin. Decades after the base closed, stories began circulating about something called the Montauk Project. According to folklore, Camp Hero was the site of secret experiments involving mind control, psychic research, time manipulation, and children used as test subjects. One of the most repeated stories centers on a boy with extraordinary psychic abilities. In the legend, he was said to be able to manifest physical beings through thought alone, a creature that eventually had to be sealed away. There is no verified evidence that any of this occurred at Camp Hero. No documents, no corroborated witnesses, no physical proof. But what is real is the environment that allowed those stories to grow. A base built to deceive, operated in secrecy, transitioned between military branches, shut down abruptly, left partially inaccessible. When official records go quiet, imagination fills the gap. The creator of Stranger Things have acknowledged that Montauk folklore helped inspire the series. The show's original working title was Montauk. The location changed. The feeling didn't. Cold War fear. Government secrecy. Institutions hiding in plain sight. Not because monsters were real, but because secrecy makes imagination inevitable. This is the part of these videos that I care about the most. Places like Camp Hero don't need exaggeration. They were built with purpose, operated in silence, and then left behind without explanation. And when that happens, people fill in the blanks. Sometimes with stories, sometimes with fear, sometimes with memories passed down through families. That's why I started History Loves Company. Because history doesn't just live in books or archives. It lives in places like this, and in the people who remember them. So if you've been here, if you've heard these stories growing up, or if this place stirred something in you, tell me, leave a comment, share a memory, because these places aren't abandoned. They're unfinished conversations.